Hey, welcome back to my channel. We walk and we talk. Everything about China. And today, we're diving into a massive story that has shaken up the AI world. On April the 17th of 2025, NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang landed in Beijing for a high-stakes visit. Why is he here? What's the stake for NVIDIA in China? And with the U.S. banning NVIDIA's H20 chip exports, what's next for China's AI industry? Buckle up, ladies and gentlemen. This is a wild ride through tariffs, tech wars, and China's homegrown AI chips. So, what's driving Jensen to Beijing, you might wonder? Here are some big motivations. Number one, saving China's market. China is huge for NVIDIA, which means 5.4 billion US dollars in revenue from mainland China and Hong Kong in the third quarter of 2024 alone. And with 1.5 million developers and 3,000 startups using NVIDIA's technology, which is why Jensen say, we are not giving up on China. And number two, to dodge regulatory, China launched an antitrust probe against NVIDIA in December 2024. This visit is likely a charm offensive to ease tensions and keep regulators friendly. And number three, navigating the H20 ban. The U.S. now requires export licenses for H20 chips, effectively halting sales to China. It's not possible anymore, right? Since the beginning of April. Jensen is probably exploring workarounds or signaling long-term commitment to keep Chinese customers loyal, which is important, right? You don't want to lose your customers. And number four, boosting team morale. With nearly 4,000 employees in China and a record low of less than 1% of turnover rate, Jensen is rallying the troops to stay focused amid uncertainty. Just look at Jensen in January 2025, handing out 5,600 US dollars in red envelopes at NVIDIA's China's New Year parties. This guy knows how to keep the team fired up, but now he's got bigger challenges. So, what might Jensen's visit actually accomplish? Let's break it down, right? By showing up in Beijing, Jensen is telling Chinese customers, we are still here for you. This could slow the shift to competitors like Huawei, especially after NVIDIA won of 5.5 billion hit from the H20 ban. And the antitrust probe could lead to the fines or restrictions. And Jensen's meeting with China's Trade Council might open back channels to soften the blow. And number three, local partnerships. Right? NVIDIA wants local partnerships. Could NVIDIA team up with Chinese firms to produce chips locally? It's tricky, U.S. rules are strict, but a joint venture could keep NVIDIA in the game. And number four is supply chain fixes. With tariffs jacking up costs, Jensen might be exploring ways to localize supply chains, reducing reliance on Taiwan's TSMC, which makes the H20 chips. And in the long term, this visit could lay the groundwork for NVIDIA to adapt to a China that is increasingly reliant on homegrown chips, ensuring they stay relevant even if its H20 chips fades. But here's the catch. Jensen's walking a tightrope. The U.S. is watching closely, and Any move that looks too cozy with China could spark backlash. Plus, China might demand tech transfers or concessions that NVIDIA simply couldn't afford. High stakes, high rewards. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room. NVIDIA's H20 chip. According to my understanding, this is the primary focus of his visit this time. H20 chip. This is a AI chip that is priced in between 12,000 US dollars to 15,000 US dollars, which are designed specifically for China. But on April the 9th of 2025, which is just a couple of weeks ago, the U.S. government said no more H20 exports without a license to China. And good luck getting one. Permits are basically frozen. So, what are China's options in a situation of this license permit game? And here's how China's coping. All right, Chinese giants like Tencent, like Alibaba, and like ByteDance, which is the mother company of TikTok, they have hoarded over 1.6 billion US dollars worth of H20 chips. Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, it's over 16 billion US dollars worth of H20s, right? Which is about 1.3 million units. That's probably enough to keep existing AI models running for now. Just for now. So it's obviously a short-term fix. And some companies are trying to smuggle H20s through places, third countries like Singapore or Southeast Asian countries. But the US is cracking down, and it's risky and it's more expensive. And there are companies like DeepSeek are optimizing algorithms to squeeze more power out of H20s or even weaker chips. Think of it as turbocharging a slower engine. It helps, but it's not a long-term solution either. And some Chinese companies are leasing AI power from US or Southeast Asian data centers with NVIDIA's H100 chips. But this is pricey, and data security is a big concern. So these are stopgaps, right? The real game changer? Yeah, you get it. China's homegrown AI chips, which are stepping up fast. Now, let's dive in. So, obviously, in middle of this tariff war and technology control, China is not sitting still. With 48 billion in government subsidies in 2024, Chinese companies are racing to replace NVIDIA. Here's the state of the play. The star of the show, the SN910B series, is already competing with NVIDIA's H20 with about 200,000 units sold in 2024. And they're coming up with a new model, the new 910C, which is launched in 2025, is aiming for 100,000 units and claims to even beat H20 in some tasks. Although that's debated. That's doubted, right? Huawei's software, CANN or CAN, is getting better at running AI models, and big names like Tencent and ByteDance are testing it. And other than Huawei, there's another company called Cambricon. Probably you've already heard it, or probably not. And this company, they have a AI chip that is called Yuan. Right? These are gaining traction in mid-range AI tasks, with sales hitting 100 million US dollars in 2024, which is not a lot, obviously, but it is projected to reach 1.1 billion US dollars by the year 2026. They are energy efficient, but they lack the scale of that from Huawei, right? So this is another company, the second company. And also, there are Byron and Moore threads. Byron's BR100 and Moore threads MTTS4000 are promising, but lag in software and production. They are mostly using government projects or smaller firms, which is another way of saying the market share is very small. And also, China's top chip maker, SMIC, produces Huawei's 7nm chips. They are not as advanced as TSMC's 4nm for H20, but SMIC is improving fast, with yields up to 40% for Ascent 910C. SMIC is based on Shanghai and TSMC is based in Taiwan. So these are two companies competing. I mean, more or less, right? But there's a technology gap in between, which is basically because of the ban of the lithography machines. So here's the deal. Huawei's Ascent could grab 30 to 50% of China's AI chip market by late 2025, up from 20% in 2024. But there's a catch. China's chips still trail NVIDIA in software ecosystems. NVIDIA's CUDA or CUDA platforms has 15 million developers. Astonishing, right? In comparison, Huawei's CAN is playing catch up. It has a far less size in terms of the ecosystem. Plus, China is stuck with 7nm tech, while NVIDIA is on 4nm. And key components like high bandwidth memory chips, they still come from South Korea. China's chip ambitions face big hurdles. Without EUV lithography machines blocked by U.S. sanctions, China is stuck behind TSMC and NVIDIA. Developers love NVIDIA's CUDA. Switching to Huawei or Capricorn means retraining and higher costs. Huawei relies on South Korea memory chips, and U.S. tariffs could disrupt other components. And some Chinese firms like Alibaba say H20 clusters outperform local chips. So adoption is pretty slow because of lack of confidence. But don't count China out. The H20 ban is a wake-up call. Analysts say it's backfiring by pushing China to go all in on domestic chips. By 2030, China aims to lead AI and Huawei leading the charge. So for NVIDIA, Jensen's visit is about staying in the game, maybe through local partnerships or new chip designs for China. And Jensen Huang's visit isn't just about NVIDIA, it's a snapshot of the U.S. China tech war. Will NVIDIA keep its grip on China's AI market? Can Huawei and others close the gap? And how will tariffs reshape the global chip race? One thing's clear, the stakes have never been higher. Okay, so what do you think? Can China's chips outtake NVIDIA? Will Jensen pull off a miracle in China? Drop your thoughts below, hit that subscribe button, and ring the bell for more tech deep dives. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.